Hello, welcome to my video. It's Trevor Cutmore, and this week I'm going to talk to you about where is the property market going. So look, the question, as I've said, is where is the property market going and what should we be doing? That's a really interesting question. I'm running a series of webinars on different strategies because I do see that especially options is going to be a very important strategy, property options in controlling property. And so you can maximize what you're doing. I actually think there's going to be opportunity to take over portfolios and many other things. I did a webinar a couple of weeks ago. I've got one coming up on the 14th of May, and I'll have another one coming up about 10 days or 2 weeks after that. I'm trying to run one about every 10 days to 2 weeks. So watch out for those webinars. They are on key subjects. You know, I've done options, I'm doing buy, refurb, refinance with a couple of options in there as well. I'm going to be doing auctions. I'm going to be looking at short leasehold properties, etc. There's a whole array of things I'm going to be talking about on webinars. Look, if you are looking at any training, yes, we have online training. If you're interested, just drop me an email and we will send you the details out, okay? But on a webinar, we are doing some really great deals. But look, the number one question that I'm asked at this minute, Trevor, what's happening with the market? Should I offer below market value right now? I've actually agreed on a property, and look, I get so many questions. As you know, I mentor a lot of people in property, and pretty much we put everything on hold until we can get back out, because unfortunately there's not too much. There are a couple of things that we can do, which I'm going to be sharing on the webinar, but you know, other than those, there's not too much we can do. One of the things is that the valuers for valuing properties are locked down. They really are not being released to go and value for mortgage companies, and that for you and me is a bit of a problem. And even to do things by cash, again, there's restrictions on the movements, etc. And I wouldn't advise you buying cash unless you have a survey and you do things properly, okay? So, you know, some of my mentees, they come up and say, Trevor, we've already agreed, and because of the lockdown, everything's just stalled. Do we re-offer and make a lower offer now? No, because look, yes, we all understand that the market is dropping, but nobody can actually put their finger on and say, well, that one sold for £200,000 3 months ago and now it's worth 150. No one can actually say that because the market stalled. Nothing's moving. So when we open back up, we will start again with a property at £200,000. You know, where has it moved? What evidence have we got other than it's just all stopped? So yes, they will value down. I'm sure of that. I'm talking to financiers. I'm talking to valuers myself. I'm going to be interviewing a valuer soon on one of my my weekly sort of Facebook things I do on the Cashflow Freedom Facebook page. I'm going to be interviewing a valuer who actually specializes in short leases. That's going to be really quite special. I hope to catch him next week. This week coming, I've got 2 interviews with a property solicitor, and we're talking about the ugly truth. You can see that on, as I say, on our Facebook page. But look, what should you do if you're in that position where you've offered and you feel you haven't exchanged yet, but you feel that it's dropped by what, 5, 10, 15 or 20%? I don't know. And to be honest, you can't put your finger on it and say that you know at this time. Okay, so we're early May at the minute, 10th of, it's the 11th of May when you're watching this. You know, it's a difficult one to gauge where the market is right now, because we just don't know what's going to happen in the next few months. I'm building houses, and you know, I knew what their worth was. They were on the market and they've dropped. The thing is what valuers, well, can't get value out, but what mortgage companies have done now, they've actually, for lending purposes, they pulled back to about 60% loan to value, then 65% loan to value. And just last week, some of them came up to 70% loan to value, not 75. So that's going to squeeze investors and purchasers a little bit and make them think, do I want to commit so much money? But again, let's come back. Should you be renegotiating now? In my opinion, no, you shouldn't, because you've got no evidence that it has dropped in value. Now, as and when the market starts to open back up, and tonight, I'm videoing this on Sunday, so this evening at 7 o'clock, the Prime Minister is going to be talking. Things will start to move slowly, but we've got to watch. Will there be a second lockdown? We don't know yet. At the point that when things start to move again, valuers are coming out, they're doing values, then we will have evidence that they are down valuing. At that point, and this isn't to mess about with vendors, but this is a reality check that yes, I was buying your house at 200,000 or 250,000. The value is in this area, or the mortgage, that when the valuers come back, they said it's not worth 200, it's worth 175. And now you've got to make a decision. Is 175, the real value of the property? And where should you be buying it? At that point, you can renegotiate, or just before you go to valuation without spending that money, because that's where you can start to weigh it up and think, okay, I can start to hear and learn from estate agents, from your mortgage broker, and maybe from your solicitor, what's happening with the values. Then you have tangible evidence, and then you can go back and say, look, I was going to buy this house at 200. Unfortunately, it's dropped. It looks like it's around about 12.5%. On that evidence, which I can supply to you, I can only give you 12.5%, the 200,000 we agreed with, which is £25,000. So you'd be buying at 175. That would be your offer. Now, that's not wrong. The thing is that when you come to, if you don't do that, if you come to a mortgage and the valuer comes in and says, it's not worth 200, it's worth 175, then you've got to think, well, hang on a second, I've agreed to buy it for 200. Do I want to put in an extra £25,000 on top? That's silly. And this is why you need to understand, don't be too hasty in making a counter offer. You've got to wait for the evidence. So look, short video today. It's just a little sort of thing of what's going on. If you want to know a bit more about marketing and what we should be doing in this terrible time, please come on to my webinar. They'll be going every 2 weeks. Next one, as I say, is the 14th. If you would like to know more information, drop me an email and we will send you a link, and so you can register. Please share this video if you like my YouTube channel, subscribe and leave a comment. And I'd love you to put your questions of what you'd like me to answer. All right. I have got a book coming out. I have to apologize. I was told it was going to be out last weekend. It is out at the publishers, which I have put a link to the publishers. We're just waiting for Amazon to approve it, and it will be on Amazon, we hope, this week. Okay, I am sorry. As soon as it's out, the link will go everywhere, and it will be out there. Listen, stay safe. Stay at home if you're allowed to. Go out and just be safe. And I wish you all the best. I wish you every prosperity. And last thing, look, the last thing, a lot of people have been talking about war chests and building up money. A lot of people are thinking, what should I be doing? The bounce back loans are very, very interesting. If you have a company, you can project what your earnings will be. You can do an application. You should take financial advice, of course, independent financial advice. I'm not the advisor for you. But the thing is, there's no fees. It's interest-free for 12 months, so you can sit in your bank and do nothing if you really want it. You might be able to put it in an ISA, for all I know. I don't know. Take advice on that. And if you don't use it, you can pay it back with no penalties. So there's no fees, there's no payments for 12 months, 0%. And then it's 2.5% for the next 5 years on a repayment. It's an incredible opportunity if you can get hold of that. And just think, if you've got 2 or 3, 4, 5 companies, you can do that. Bring in a war chest, and you can actually use that money to buy and flip properties within 6 months after you've got the money. Ideas. Listen, All the best, guys, and may God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.